A real patient story about acid reflux. A patient in his, I would say, late 50s called me one day, said, I was eating meat and my meat is stuck in my halfway down and I cannot swallow anything now. I cannot swallow water. I cannot swallow my saliva. I've been spitting. What do I do? Now, I've had these cases in the past. The recommendation is, I tell them, this is what we do by the book. You go to the emergency room. They will check you in. They will consult with a GI. They will put you under and they will use a scope and literally they will go and push that food down. They will give you acid reflux medicine, double dose before the first meal of the day, before the last meal of the day. And they schedule your outpatient and they will do, we call it a dilation. What they do is they put you under, they do a scope, and they literally stretch the esophagus, the stricture area. They do this, a bigger one, a bigger one, a bigger one, a bigger one. They will stretch you, and then they'll bring you back 6 months later, and they will stretch you again. That's because you have acid reflux that you haven't been treating. So I told him, you have acid reflux? Oh yeah, I have it for like many years and I haven't been treating. And this guy, he's overweight, he's alcoholic, he doesn't smoke, but he have a chronic acid reflux that's not been treated for a very long time. I told him, you really need to go to emergency room. He said, I'm not going to the emergency room. I don't have insurance and I'm going to San Diego this afternoon. I don't have time to do that. So I told him, what do I say? Like, I've never done anything different. For someone stubborn like that. So I told him, let me think. So I told him, do this. This is something I've never told patient to do that. I told him, get a tablespoon of olive oil and swallow it. And see, that might help lubricate whatever's stuck. It's usually red meat. It's the stickiest thing. And see if that will help it. So he did that. 10 minutes later, he called me. He said, it worked and I'm good now. I told him, now you have to really take your acid reflux medicine twice a day. You need to stop drinking alcohol and follow up with the GI, see if they might want to dilate you. I bet you $1 he would not do any of that because he's non-compliant, and you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. But that was very interesting. It's not in our book or our recommendation, but just spare of the moment thinking, like, just use olive oil just to lube the thing that's stuck, and it worked. So if you're in an emergency, just to get to the emergency, you can try that trick of getting any oil. Doesn't have to be olive oil, any oil that you can eat. It will lubricate the whatever food is get stuck, and it will go down. You still need to go to get checked. You still need to get possibly dilated and need to do everything about acid reflux, all the lifestyle modification, and take the medicine to avoid that. Other serious consequences of untreated acid reflux is Barrett's esophagus, which is a precancerous condition of the esophagus because of chronic irritation in this lining area. It could lead to cancer, but that's one of the things we watch out for. And I have a lot of patients that are diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus and they're on full proton pump inhibitor medicine twice a day for life.